morning everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm really excited for this video in particular because I'm at my favorite small river to fish. Where I grew up, I'm really lucky to have many different types of small rivers and big rivers, but this is the best, in my opinion, small river that you can fish in the area. And the cool thing is, hardly anybody knows about it. I've told a couple people that I know about this river, that I go there sometimes, and they're like, where? What? I've never even heard of it. And that's kind of a cool thing, which explains why the fishing's good. I'm simply just floating the river. I drove up the river as far as I can go to these boulders, and then I'm gonna let the current take me back down toward the landing where I started from. The really great thing about this river as well is that you can catch walleye, pike, muskie, smallmouth, and largemouth all in this river system. It's full of weeds, rock, gravel, stumps, fallen trees, laydowns, all of the great kind of structure. It's really fun to do. I did this last year. I usually only do this once, maybe twice a year, just because it's special to me and I don't want to overfish it. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you what I'm using and why I'm using it in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Got him. Looks like a smallie. Nice. That's a good one. Oh, that's a nice one. Whew. On the whopper plopper. All right, sit down. Oh, that was sweet. I better get my little tool out of here. Those treble hooks. Oh man, that thing didn't fight long either, so it's probably got a lot of piss and vinegar in it. It's probably got a lot of energy still. That's a really good looking fish. Wow. Thumb is stuck. That's a beautiful fish. Wow. That's gorgeous. I drove my boat as far as I could up to these boulders and rocks here. This is a fat fish too. You can see it's been eating really well. So that's really cool. Okay, we're gonna let this guy go. That was a nice fish. That was a really good way to start the morning. Oh, something keeps grabbing my bait. Could be a panfish. Got a walleye jig, a weedless walleye jig with a little Ned rig, minnow profile. Hopefully pick up some walleyes. And some other kind of fish keeps grabbing it. Not sure what's going on. Yep, every time. It's got it right now. Oof. I'm not sure what that is. What kind of fish would do that, you know? It's got it again. Ah, it's not big enough. Right by this little log here on this river bend. Got it again. There we go. Not sure what this is. This is a better fish. Ooh, that was a little smallmouth there. Okay. The smallmouth and something else in there. That explains it. Definitely wasn't a smallmouth that picked it up the first time though. That wasn't a good hook set. I thought I had to like a little panfish or something, so I didn't really give it a good hook set. Probably why that fish got off. Come on. Oh, something's got it. Oh, keeps missing it. The weed guard on here is really stiff as well, so that doesn't help. Got him. Ooh, nice smallie. Sit. That's a nice one. That was a nice fish. All right, on the whopper plopper. Seems to be getting it done today. I guess I had another fish on a jig, but perfect. Now where did I put my little tool? Okay, here it is. Oh, barely had him hooked. I gotta be careful here. That's usually when they jump, is when you lay them on the floor. Very nice. That's a good looking fish. That is nice. These things are chunkers today. Thick, tall right here. I mean, nothing for the record book, but they're just really nice quality fish. Big fat bellies. It's wide here. That's how you have to look. Not back here, but up here where they store all their food. So they're feeding up really well back here. It means there's plenty of food. It's a healthy river system. Smallmouth are big and there's a lot of them. That means there's a lot of food around. Otherwise they wouldn't be here. Yeah, that is a good one. It's only like 16 inches, but man, it's really healthy. That's the way to get it done. Whopper plopper. I think that's what's going to work today. See you guys. All right, so let's talk about whopper ploppers for a little bit. I've got this one here. I believe it's a size 90. I prefer a size 75, but this is what I have, so I go with it. This bait right here is a perfect search bait if you're a topwater angler. A lot of times when you use topwater baits, you have to fish them slow, but this one is a great bait you can use to cover a lot of water to find fish if topwater is working that day. It seems to be working right now. I missed one on a jig, really wasn't paying attention back by that log in that bend, but this bait seriously has been getting it done right now. The bigger size is nice because you're going to catch bigger fish mostly, but I like smaller sizes because you can use lighter rods, you can cast them a little bit easier, they create just as much noise, and the fish is less likely to miss a smaller one. What I'm doing out here is I'm actually pausing when I use this. Lots of anglers have this idea because there's treble hooks in a popper frog, like the Rebel Popper, the silver ones, or this type of bait. They have this idea that you get to set the hook immediately because it has treble hooks. That's not true. If you're a topwater frog angler for bass, hollow body frogs with steel hooks that are weedless on there, you know that you need to wait at least a second, if not 2 seconds every time before you set the hook. It's the same thing with this. I don't understand why. You would think you can set it immediately on a bait like this, but I've missed fish after fish after fish after I got this bait, and I started thinking, oh, maybe I should wait a little bit. And so now I've had a lot better hookup ratio just because I think you need to wait for the fish to turn before you set the hook, just like you would with the regular hollow body frog. So if you're missing fish on the whopper plopper, try waiting a little bit. Maybe 1 second, even better to wait for 2. Point your rod at the fish as the fish is swimming away with it to set the hook, reel in your slack, and bring it out. And you're probably gonna have a much better hookup percentage if you're wondering why you're not getting a lot of fish on this bait. Got him. Good. Another nice smallie. Wow. I haven't seen one smallmouth today. Two got off the jigs. One was okay. These are all been big. That is just great. For a small river, like you can't do better than that. You just can't. But around here, this is as good as it gets. They're just so dang fat too. Like, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you can tell that obviously these are my favorite fish. Not that other fish are bad, it's just that I've had the most success catching these fish and they fight the hardest, and there's a lot of good reasons why. And where I live, there's a lot of good smallmouth fishing opportunities. That's probably the biggest reason. So that's fantastic. It just makes me really happy that you can catch such good quality fish. I mean, yeah, this isn't the biggest one I've caught all year, obviously, but it's just solid. The size class up here is just really good. See you later. Okay, I'll show you what I'm using right now. And it's just quite simply a little crankbait. It goes down about 8 feet at the most, so I just don't reel it really hard on this river. There are 8-foot sections, but most of it's between 4 and 6 feet. And it's a bluegill imitation. And where I come from, there's bluegills everywhere. That's the main forage for these fish. And this river connects to a lake. It feeds a larger lake that feeds another larger lake that eventually goes somewhere else. But this is a really great bait. The main forage for these fish are bluegills. So I had to look a long time. It took me a long time to find a bait that looks like this, because a lot of times you're going to find in the bass sections of your sporting goods store, the bait imitation for crankbaits are dominated by shad presentations, these silver little fish, where I found an almost identical presentation for a bluegill, and it's quite small. So this is my go-to bait if I'm using a crank. Got him. I don't know what this is. Ooh. Little tiny pike on the frog. And fell off. That's all right. Don't want to deal with that anyway. Knew it was small and it barely fought. That's usually how it goes. What I did is I took out this hollow body frog. These hooks are all screwed up. I'll have to fix that in a minute. And I started hitting these little weed patches there. There's one up there as well. Obviously bass like that too, but I thought, hey, I've never used a frog back here. It's a river, so it's kind of weird using a frog, hollow body frog in a river, considering that I know there's big bass in here and there's also a lot of pike and muskie. I figured, hey, I'll just check it out, and that's the first fish I've ever caught. I don't know if it counts because I didn't get it in the boat, but it's the first fish I brought up to the boat with this bait. Well, thanks for coming along. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my time out there this morning. If I had a little bit more time and we could pick apart some spots with some jigs, I think we would have done even better. But 3 solid bass and that little pike to end things off. Still enjoyed the morning. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. A lot more videos to come about learning how to fish, particularly for bass, walleye, pike, those kind of species, sometimes trout. And don't forget to hit the like button and comment below. Stay tuned for another video. See you later.